What's up, guys? Brian, coach of the Boston Brelooms here, today to review my Week 1 match against Hans of the Nurnberg Ninetales. So, looking right off the bat at our lead matchup, I have a really good option to lead with Frostlass because no matter what he leads, I'm guaranteed to get up a spike and to have some sort of pressure on that Pokemon to prevent it from doing what it wants to do. If he leads Rotom, I can get up a spike and then taunt him so he can't defog, and then potentially I could get up another spike. Well, we'll see if that happens. If he leads Lopunny, I have Protect, and then I can Thunder Wave. If he leads Durant, I can get a spike and Thunder Wave. If he leads Cobalion, same thing. If he leads Garbodor, I can taunt and then deny whatever he wants to do, then get up my own spike. And if he leads Drampa, well then I can also have, he doesn't really want to stay in. He doesn't know I don't have no Ice Beam. So he's not going to really want to stay in. So I can get up a spike. I can even get up 2 spikes. I could even potentially get up 3 spikes and T-Wave something if he plays it in a way like if he switches out into Lopunny, I get a spike turn 1. I protect the fake out. I T-Wave him and spike again. And even if I get and then I have the potential to get another spike up. So it's a really good position just to lead Frostlass because I have that Focus Sash and because my spikes are so important to winning this game with my Mesprit and my Nidoqueen. Okay, so you're going to see that lead matchup right off the bat, and he's going to lead off with Garbodor. Right away, I go for the taunt to prevent his spikes or whatever he wants to do. He ends up having toxic spikes, so then I just end up setting up my lair myself. He gets the poison with the gunk shot, and also I disable his gunk shot, so it's like a pretty neutral turn. He seed bombs me, and I die to the poison. If I didn't get the disable, he'd just kill me with another gunk shot anyways, so it's not a big deal. Okay, let's go back here. Oh, I don't know why I showed you this. So spike, and I lose my Frostlass. Now I have 2 layers of spikes to kind of pressure the Cobalion, pressure the Lopunny, pressure Durant, and even Drampa a little bit. The Lopunny now dies to a Sludge Wave or an Earth Power from my Nidoqueen, which is a really good position for me to be in if it comes in onto these spikes. So one thing I want to do is prevent him from getting up those, getting off his defog with his Rotom. So what I do here, I go into Nidoqueen, and I can threaten this Garbodor and like one shot KO it, right? But I also don't want my Nidoqueen to take damage. I haven't seen his last move, and he also has the potential switch in Rotom on my Earth Power. So what I do here is I go to Como because it's a good middle ground. It can eat whatever Garbodor wants to do, and it 1v1s the Rotom Wash because it has Taunt and it cannot be Will-O-Wisp. Then I can get up my Stealth Rock, and I have a pretty good matchup against pretty much everything else that comes in too. So that's what happens. I go to Como, he explodes, and I get to protect my Nidoqueen for later in the game. Como heals with some with his leftovers, and he goes into Cobalion. So normally you would think that the best play here would be to close combat, and I actually think that would have been a pretty good play as well. But he really wants to get rid of this because I have the potential to Dragon Dance, so he's not going to go for the Swords Dance, and I'm not worried about that. So I'm not thinking about his Swords Dance because if he Swords Dance, he kills the rest of my team. But I don't think he's going to do that because it's a call out on whatever he wants to do because he can't Swords Dance on me because if he does, I Dragon Dance, I close combat him, and I run through the rest of his team. So he has to really respect this. He really has to get rid of this. So I kind of expect him to go for a Z move here. And because of the way my team is built, I'm pretty sure he's Steelium Z. And I end up being right, so he throws off the Steelium. It doesn't kill me, and I get up the Stealth Rock. Now, it's important to note that I didn't have Dragon Dance, and so he actually had no reason to really fear this, but he doesn't know that. So I just want to get up the rocks, because I need a little bit of chip on Rotom. Extra chip on Lopunny and Drampa are really nice too. I didn't expect him to bring Drampa, and it's really threatening to my team because I'm running this Trick Room sort of comp. And it just becomes really deadly. I have to stall out my own setup if I decide to Trick Room. So he ends up finishing me the next turn. Again, he can't Swords Dance because he has to respect the damage from Como. I go into Mesprit here and I get up my Trick Room. Looking back, the best play honestly was probably to HP Fire. Because I set up the Trick Room here, and then he gets a lot of turns with his Drampa to threaten my team. But I want to get up the Trick Room so that if he brings in Rotom, I can have the initiative over it and I can have the threat on it. If he does something else, like if he goes into the Durant, then I can still kill it. Trick Room basically guarantees me a kill and it forces me not to predict. And so I decided to go for that. Drampa is very threatening, but it's I'm able to stall out a couple turns with my Comfy, which I don't need as long as I still have my Mesprit and Nidoqueen. Comfy's only goal this game is to Trick Room if I lose my Mesprit, and obviously because of the threat Mesprit has on the rest of his team, I'd rather just save it than throw it away and then use Comfy to set up my Trick Room later. Because it's a lot sketchier to Trick Room and then go into another Pokemon than it is to just Trick Room and win with this. Like Trick Room is only helpful if I still have Nidoqueen. Mesprit's Trick Room is helpful no matter what happens as long as this Drampa goes down. So I take a Hyper Voice, which is nice, but I'm going to go down to the next one, so I just got off a little bit of damage with Draining Kiss. The only Pokemon I have that can really take this is Tapu Bulu, so I go into that and I throw off a Superpower because he has Sap Sipper and I can't hit it with a Grass move. Yeah, and that's that turn. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Wait, no, it's not. Okay, so he goes into Cobalion, and he can't just Swords Dance that turn either, because he could be threatened by the Tapu Bulu. What's it called? Superpower, sorry. And so I decide to go into Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen could eat one, even 2, 3 Iron Heads, sorry. And so I get in my Nidoqueen. I get to have a lot of threat on whatever is coming in. An Earth Power would kill this, Earth Power would kill this. So he's most likely to go to Rotom Wash, but just in case he stays in, I decide to go for the middle ground, Thunderbolt, which would still kill this and still threatens the Rotom Wash a fair bit. So I go for that. And I get off half of the Rotom's health. Here he has an opportunity to defog, but I assume he's more likely wanting to get rid of Nidoqueen because it's so threatening. I go to Tapu Bulu, and I'm still fearing the Cobalion because if it sets up when Trick Room's not up, I can still lose this game. So I just decide to spam Superpower until I die so that Cobalion doesn't get to come in for free. I go into Mesprit here and set up my Trick Room that will win me the game. His Hydro Pump misses, but honestly it doesn't really matter that much. Hydro Pump would do like 30% to me, and then his Fake Out plus Quick Attack still wouldn't do enough to kill me after that 30%, as you can see. Like the Fake Out does 20, his Quick Attack would do 20. Even if he did have quick Attack, and so the Hydro still wouldn't have put me in range of those moves. And I just finished off the rest of the game with my Mesprit. So just like I talked about in my team builder, I protected these two Pokemon, Frostlass and Como. It didn't really matter, they were more so hazards for me. And then I had the Comfy as insurance for my Trick Room plan, and the Bulu took hits as I needed it to, and I didn't prioritize it too much compared to these two. So I pretty much, the game ended up playing out the way I wanted to. It does look like I lost a lot of Pokemon, but I ensured I was in a position to win by sacrificing the right things. And I feel like the way I prepped for it, it was a little unconventional, and it ended up working out because I played it as I expected to, like pretty much exactly as I expected to as I built the team. And I felt like it was a pretty successful week. So this has been my replay review of my week 1 match against Hans of the Nurnberg Ninetales. I hope you guys enjoyed this video a lot, and have a great day.